Hi there, I'm Mike, and what I have for you today is a contractual obligation. I was sent a Sabneo V8 Pixel for free in exchange for a review, so I'm doing that right now. Usually I don't do this kind of thing. I've had a lot of companies, shirts, jewelry, like lawn equipment, I don't even know. I have been contacted a lot, and I always either just completely ignore it or, send a polite decline, because it's usually not my thing. But when I was offered a free lightsaber, that spoke to me. I do have the one from Disneyland, the one from Savvy's workshop, and I couldn't help but do a direct comparison to that. So I'll be talking about that through the course of this review. Now, I don't have any of the Black Series lightsabers, and you might be saying, Mike, don't you collect a lot of the Black Series figures? Yeah, absolutely. I have a complete collection, but I don't do the lightsabers. It's never been a thing that's interested me. First, we have the V8 Pixel, which I believe is their newest one. Hold on, how much does this cost? I mean, these things are normally like $330. I think online right now they're $130, so it's a pretty big discount. If you want one, I guess go there, and I hope it's still on sale. So let's get started with what you get in the box. Inside the box, we have the hilt, and we have the blade, and we have a charging cable, and then we have a little baggie with some screws and an Allen wrench. So right off the bat, there is some assembly required. If you want to attach the hilt to the blade, there's a couple little screws that you can pop right in, and it's very secure. There's no plug. You have to worry if anything's in the right way. You just kind of attach it, and it works. It's honestly kind of like magic. They do give you a couple extra screws, which is good because these things are tiny. I dropped them all on my floor, on my carpet, and it took me about 30 minutes to find them all. Now, in comparison, we have the Savvy's Workshop one. Now, the only way to get that is to go to Disneyland and then drop $220 or $30 now, assuming that you had a reservation in the first place to get one. That being said, there's a whole show and song and dance of you building your own lightsaber, and there's tons of really cool parts that you can kind of choose between as you build it. So when you make a saber, it really is yours, and that's part of the fun. The nice thing about that is the lightsaber you build is yours, whereas the Sabneo, it's sort of like an iPhone where they all kind of look the same, but there's a couple different colors. But the colors are cool. I chose the gray metallic. There's also gold, silver, black. Right off the bat, there was something I noticed more than anything else, and that was a lack of a way to equip the lightsaber to your belt or pants or shorts or whatever you're wearing. You can't wear it. The thing I love about Savvy Saber is that you can, for an extra $20, buy a belt clip for it, and you can wear it around. And I think when I got mine, I wore it for a straight week, and I loved it. Even though it's a little big and it's a little heavy, it was still fun to wear a lightsaber on your belt. Right off the bat, right out of the box, that was the first thing I noticed, is there isn't really a way to attach this to a belt. Guys, if you're watching this, and I know you are because you paid me to make this video, that would be cool to have. Maybe something I can buy on your store. I even checked to see if there was something I was missing. If you're looking for some suggestions, as a nerd, it would be really cool to wear your nice, sleek looking lightsaber hilt on my pants. It'd be cool. So that's the other thing I wanted to point out between Savvy's and the Sabneo, is that the Sabneo, the hilt, is very sleek. It's very thin, and while made out of metal and has a really good build quality, it's very lightweight, which is fantastic. In comparison to the Savvy's Workshop blade, it's very thick because, it's got that whole component thing where you build it yourself. They've built it over a housing where you can change your crystal and all that stuff with the different colors. So due to the nature of that, the lightsaber itself is very, very big in your hand. Even for me, I've got big hands. It's very big. But then a couple screws to keep that blade attached to that hilt, and you have a very nice lightsaber. Very lightweight, and according to the website, it is rated for combat. And with the blade attached, it does feel really good. It's a smidge shorter than my Savvy's Workshop blade. And also, due to the nature of having to screw these in with the two different screws, you can't easily pull this in and take it off. Whereas the Savvy's Workshop lightsaber is very easy to just twist and pull, and it's right there. So check this out. No, seriously, look at this is amazing. Whoa! Where's that music coming from? So as you can see, this thing is very bright. It's honestly, it's gorgeous. The LED panels they have going all up the blade give it a nice, even glow that I absolutely love. Way better looking than any other lightsaber I've seen, especially the Savvy's lightsaber, which is very dim in comparison. There's two buttons on here, and I don't want to go through everything it does, but one of the nice things about this is there are a lot of options. The buttons do different things on whether or not the lightsaber is on or off. So now I've just changed the sound that the lightsaber will have, angelic plasma. So it's got a different hum.
Unstable.
I've also changed the look of the blade. So now it's got more of an unstable sort of sheen to it, kind of like Kylo Ren's. Now, if I want to match Kylo Ren's, I can by turning the blade upside down and giving it kind of a flick. There we go. Giving it a flick, I can change the color of the blade as well. Like I said, if you want to kind of change the color, you can go between a couple different ones just by flicking your wrist here. A couple different hues. So now if you want to do red, you can, which is nice. You can also, so that actually changed the ignition. So that's kind of the thing about these ignitions is I don't know, one, why you'd ever want to change the lightsaber ignition to be like that. The other thing that I don't like is there's no way of really knowing which one's which until you do it. That was kind of neat, but at the same time, why? A quick press while the lightsaber's off on the bottom button.
Tell me, is this training? My training? No. Always training. The universe is.
Gives you a little sound bite, and that sound bite gives you a clue as to what sound the lightsaber is going to make. So, when Yoda talks, that means that this sound is Yoda's lightsaber. So Sebulba means that the lightsaber is going to have, it's going to have a pod racer kind of engine to it, which is neat. It's neat. I don't know why you'd ever want it, but it's neat. Now you've noticed as I've been activating and deactivating my lightsaber, that's my second complaint. And I only have two, but depending on what you want out of a lightsaber, they could be big ones. So that's right. But then again, so that first one was reversed. Everything was reversed. This one, it's still, when I close it, it stops from the middle and kind of goes out. So it's igniting properly. That one unignited properly. So it's mostly right for the most part. Okay, and then it went up. So I haven't changed anything. It just sometimes on its own decides that it wants to activate and deactivate incorrectly, which is annoying because as someone who's a large Star Wars fan, I want it to ignite and unignite properly. Now it does it most of the time, which is great, but just like that, I just close it up and it closed into the middle, which is not something that lightsabers, that's not how they turn off, you know? So it's just up to you on whether or not you think that 2 seconds of ignition and deignition, unignition, kind of ruins it for you. The Savvy's is always the right way. You know, it always goes up, it always comes down. I like that because you don't have to worry about whether or not it's right, but at the same time, this does have a lot of options to it. And all the different options are cool. Like you can have a different sound profile, whereas with the Savies or with the even the Hasbro ones, you don't have that option. You can change the color of your blade based on the day or time or whatever you want. Whereas with the Black Series one, you can't. It is what it is because those lightsabers are someone's lightsabers. Or with the Disney one, you have to get an accompanying crystal that you have to buy if you want to change that. And I believe they're random. So it's not you can be like, I want a blue or a green. You just kind of buy a blind pack and you get a green or maybe a red or maybe a black, but you don't really have any choice over it. So I like that you have more options. I just wish you had a little bit more control over those options, mostly in terms of ignition and deignition, because as much as I've played with this, and I've played with it for the last week, and I don't think you can change it. I've gone through all the options, and there is a small sort of book that explains what you do, how you hold it, what buttons you have to press, and it's not great, but after some trial and error, you kind of figure out what things do. You can even change it so it plays music. There's like Jurassic Park music, there's Star Wars music, but it's like Princess Leia's theme, which is weird. You know, there's some weird choices with this, but in the end, it's all extra. You know, if you don't want any of that stuff, you don't have to have it. But you can choose the color of your blade, and no matter what color you choose, or what ignition you choose, or what blade effect you choose, they all look and sound fantastic. But that's not even all, because that second button, while it's on, if you press it, it gives you little effects. So randomly, things will kind of light up on the blade as I press it, as if you're deflecting, you know, a blaster bolt. And you can even, I think if I go forward, it does like a melting thing. And you can even do a tick drag, which is something that only I've seen only the Hasbro Black Series ones do. So you can kind of, you know, act like you're dragging the tip across something, which is, it's neat. It's cool they have these options, and the movement is actually really responsive. From what I can tell, there's about 5 hours of battery life on it, and if you want to recharge it, that's actually the best thing here, because it's rechargeable. It does take a little bit of time to recharge, and make sure you only use a 5-watt charger. That's basically your phone charger. It's a USB-C connection. Whereas I don't know about actually the Black Series ones. I don't even know how those get power. I've never done anything, but I do know the Savvy's blade that I got from Disneyland requires 3 AA batteries, and they don't last very long at all. I don't know if I would have ever bought this, but now that I have it, I like it. I'm glad I have this. If I had to choose between the Savies and this, based on the price it's at right now, I would choose this in a heartbeat. I will say the experience of building my own lightsaber at the Savies workshop was fantastic. I got goosebumps. I got, you know, emotions and chills I never thought I'd have. But that's over. That was in the past. That was an experience I had. But now I just have a lightsaber that I paid $200 for. It's a little chunky and it's a little heavy. I can carry it around, but I don't really want to. I took it with me to Star Wars Celebration the first day, and after that I was like, I'm not taking this anymore because it's too much. Whereas this is very lightweight. I love it. I just wish there was a way that you could hold it on your belt. And I do want to give a nice little thank you to Return of the Jedi on Instagram. He's got a fun little YouTube channel that he sent me a link to, and he has his lightsabers hanging on his wall using command clips that you would use for like mops and brooms. And I have to say, it works really well. It looks really good. So if you're looking for a way to store your lightsabers, that's a great way to do it. So thanks a lot for that little tip. But with that, that's my review. I have to say, I recommend it. They did not pay me to say that. They just sent me a free lightsaber and asked me what I thought of it. So even though I got paid for this, my review happens to be a positive one. Anyways, thanks for watching and thanks for getting this far. Let me know down in the downstairs area. Do you have a lightsaber? Do you have a Black Series, a Savvy's Workshop, or another? Maybe not even Sabneo, but a different company. Let me know what you think of it. I have to say, I'm very impressed with this, both in build quality and in all the features and stuff. It's not perfect. I wish it were a little bit better, but for what you get, I do think the nitpicks are minor for me, and I do like it a lot. So thanks for watching again, and thanks for getting this far. And like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.